Have you felt a strange shift in the air lately? Like something unseen is gently guiding your spirit toward a higher way of living. You are not imagining it. We've entered a new era, a time when the unseen becomes visible and the forgotten becomes remembered. This is the Age of Aquarius, and it is quietly awakening every soul on Earth. Before we begin, if this message resonates with you, take a moment to like this video, subscribe, and type "Awakened" in the comments to join others rising with this cosmic wave. There is a reason so many of us feel that life no longer fits the way it used to. The systems, beliefs, and roles we've followed for generations feel outdated, even suffocating. This is not just personal evolution, it is cosmic. The Earth is shifting under our feet, not from chaos, but because the cycle of time has turned. We are no longer in the Age of Pisces, where blind faith and hierarchy ruled. We are now crossing the threshold into Aquarius, a time ruled by knowledge, inner truth, and collective awakening. Ancient civilizations knew this cycle well. The Egyptians called it the Great Year, a 25 to 920-year rotation of the heavens through 12 cosmic gates, each one casting its unique energy upon the Earth. These aren't just symbols, they are energetic blueprints that shape every soul's journey. The stars are not just decoration in the night sky. They are emitters of divine energy, broadcasting invisible waves that touch every part of our being. Science has already caught up with what mystics knew long ago. Everything, from the cells in your body to the galaxies beyond, is made of energy. Through wave-particle duality, we know particles can behave like both solid matter and flowing light. This means that your very essence is vibrating, receiving, and sending waves, just like the stars. The planets above influence the energy currents on Earth, and those currents subtly shape our thoughts, our decisions, and even our destinies. This is not fantasy. It is the science of spirit. When you feel off or unusually alive or overwhelmed by inspiration, you are likely sinking or resisting these celestial currents. Every 2160 years, Earth's position aligns with a new zodiac constellation. This marks the birth of a new age, each carrying different lessons for the soul. During the Age of Pisces, we were led by faith and the promise of salvation. We looked up to gods, prophets, and saviors. Religion gave us structure, but also limitation. That time, however, is fading like a tide returning to the sea. Aquarius demands more. It asks not for blind belief, but awakened vision. It calls you to think for yourself, to rise above control, and to rebuild truth through unity and science. Aquarius is the water bearer, not of liquid but of energy and knowledge. Its gift is the understanding that all beings are linked and that no one can truly evolve alone. This era, now unfolding, carries a rhythm unlike any before. It is not about conquest, but connection, not about power, but partnership. Technology, once feared or misunderstood, becomes the very tool through which this new consciousness spreads. The internet is not simply a network of machines. It is the nervous system of a global mind awakening to itself. Artificial intelligence, once imagined as cold and mechanical, will soon reflect our own inner programming back to us, showing us what still needs healing. Aquarius challenges every part of us to align, head with heart, science with spirit, individual will with collective good. This is not a rebellion, it's a realignment. Not a breakdown, but a breakthrough. And here's the most sacred truth. This isn't happening outside of you. It's happening within you. The chaos you may see in the world is only a reflection of the deeper shifts inside human consciousness. Every great age begins with a period of discomfort, because it is the death of what no longer serves. But from that death comes a new dawn, a rebirth. The Age of Aquarius is your invitation to awaken your inner light, remember your role as a co-creator, and step into a new level of soul evolution. This is no longer about waiting for a savior. It is about becoming your own. The veil is lifting, the illusions are cracking, and what's rising in their place is. When you understand the true movement of the heavens, You begin to realize that time is not linear. It flows in circles, in spirals, in great cosmic breaths. Ancient sages knew this. The precession of the equinoxes, the 25-9-20-year cycle, where the Earth slowly shifts its orientation, was called the Great Year. It was not just an astronomical fact, but a sacred rhythm through which consciousness evolved. At the end of each full cycle, the Earth experiences a great cleansing, often misunderstood as disaster. But in truth, it is divine renewal. Civilizations rise and fall not by chance, but by the turning of cosmic tide. Each age brings its own energy, and that energy shapes the way humans think, live, love, and grow. We are now in one of those rare moments, standing at the edge of the old world and the gateway into a radically new one. In the Age of Pisces, we were led to seek salvation through surrender. It was an age of prophets, priests, and institutions that claimed to hold the keys to heaven. There were gifts in this period: compassion, devotion, the longing for transcendence, but there were also chains. Many were taught to look outside themselves for truth, to obey rather than to explore. Pisces, symbolized by two fish swimming in opposite directions, reflects that tension between the spiritual and the material. One fish swims upward, seeking the divine. The other swims downward, pulled by fear and illusion. We are the children of that era, but we are no longer bound to its limitations. Aquarius calls us forward now, not to reject the past, but to evolve beyond it. Aquarius is not a savior. It is a frequency, a vibration, a sacred pulse in the song of the universe. Ruled by Uranus, the planet of sudden insight and radical change, Aquarius doesn't ask for permission to shift. It awakens you when you least expect it, with a thought, a dream, a disruption that shatters the old. It speaks not through sacred texts, but through synchronicity, through technology, through the voice within you that says, there must be more than this. Its symbol, the water bearer, is not about physical water, but the waters of knowledge and awareness poured out to humanity. This age is about truth that liberates, not just truth spoken, but truth lived. And that begins with you. What makes Aquarius so different from the ages before it is its focus on the collective mind. This is not a time of isolation or personal enlightenment for the few, but a mass awakening. You'll notice it in how people now question systems they once blindly accepted in religion, politics, education, relationships. You'll feel it in the breakdown of traditional hierarchies, the rise of movements that demand equality, transparency, and justice. Aquarius values freedom, but not selfishness. Its gift is interdependence, not dependency. It teaches that we are all threads in a single divine web, and when one soul awakens, it sends ripples through the whole. That is why your inner work matters now more than ever, because your shift becomes humanity's shift. There is a subtle power moving through the earth right now. You may sense it in your dreams, in your body, in the sudden urge to change, to create, to seek something more aligned with your truth. These are not coincidences. They are symptoms of a soul responding to a new frequency. As the energies of Aquarius rise, they challenge you to shed the masks you've worn, the beliefs that once kept you safe, but now limit you. You are being asked to become authentic, to walk as your true self, not the version of you shaped by fear or approval. The world doesn't need more followers. It needs creators, visionaries, conscious souls willing to step outside the old paradigm and imagine something better. This is your calling. This is the shift. And it begins right now, within you. You've heard of revolutions shaped by fire, protest, and political flags. But the revolution of Aquarius is not born in the streets. It is born in the soul. It does not shout, it awakens. In this sacred age, the battlefield is not the outside world. It is the inner realm of thought, belief, and energy. This is the era of the invisible shift, The silent uprising that begins with one question: who am I really? This revolution does not demand you follow. It dares you to look within, to sit in silence, to feel your wounds, to examine your patterns, to break the lies you inherited and speak the truth you were born to live. Unlike past ages where change came from kings or prophets, Aquarius tells you you are the key. This awakening does not come easily. When you start to rise, the old parts of you will resist. You will feel torn between your former self and the self that is emerging. This friction is natural. It is the soul shedding its skin. Every belief that once defined you may now feel heavy. You may begin to question religion, relationships, even the purpose of your career. These aren't breakdowns, they're breakthroughs. Aquarius invites you to dissolve the illusion of separation. It says, there is no them, there is only us, the collective humanity, and you are not separate from its pain or its healing. When you heal yourself, you heal a fragment of the whole. When you confront your shadows, you light a path for others. Aquarius also challenges the very way you connect with spirituality. It is no longer about memorizing scripture or following rigid rituals. It is about direct experience. You do not need permission to talk to the divine. You already are divine. The Age of Aquarius brings forward practices like meditation, energy healing, dream work, sacred sound, and intuitive knowing. These are the ancient tools of self-realization now returning to the forefront. In this era, science and spirit no longer fight. They begin to dance. Quantum physics speaks of entanglement, non-locality, and energy fields. Ideas that echo mystical teachings spoken thousands of years ago. Aquarius bridges these worlds, asking us to see reality not through division, but unity. It is the age of the third eye, not just the physical eyes. But with this awakening comes responsibility. In a world where everyone is waking up at different paces, it's easy to fall into frustration. Some will cling tightly to the past. Others will resist change altogether. Aquarius whispers, be patient, be compassionate. Every soul has its rhythm. This is not a race. It is a rising. And the ones who awaken first are not here to judge. They are here to hold the light. If you felt alone in your awakening, know this: you are not alone. Millions around the world are feeling this exact stirring. From all cultures, faiths, and paths. This wave is universal, and as it grows, so does the possibility of a global shift, unlike anything humanity has ever seen. This revolution is subtle, but it is unstoppable. It is happening in the way people are turning off the noise and returning to nature, in the way communities are forming around shared values rather than surface identity, in how children speak wisdom beyond their years and elders return to the knowledge they once forgot. Aquarius asks us to merge ancient truth with future vision, to bring together what was once separated, the mind and the heart, the sacred and the scientific, the individual and the collective, the inner and the outer. This is not a dream. It is prophecy unfolding, and you, beloved soul, are part of it. Not watching from the sidelines, but standing right at the center. The revolution has already begun, and it begins within you. As the Age of Aquarius unfolds, we begin to see the world for what it truly is, and for what it never was. Many of the structures we once trusted are now showing their cracks. Institutions built on control, appearances, or exploitation are beginning to fall, not because of rebellion, but because their foundations no longer align with truth. Aquarius does not tear down violently. It reveals, it uncovers, it shines the light on what was hidden in plain sight. From government to media, religion to education, entertainment to economics, the veils are lifting. Truth is no longer something you seek outside. It's becoming something that rises within. What once ruled through fear is now exposed through awareness. And once something is seen in truth, it can never return to the shadows. This unveiling isn't limited to systems and leaders. It extends into your personal life as well. Relationships that once felt aligned may now feel heavy or false. Habits that comforted you may now feel toxic. Dreams you chased may no longer resonate. This is not a crisis. It is a cleansing. Aquarius asks, are you willing to live authentically, even if it means letting go of what no longer fits? This process can be painful. You may feel lost or like your identity is unraveling. But what's truly happening is a rebirth, not into someone new, but into the real you, the you beneath the masks, the conditioning, the survival instincts. This is the sacred fire of purification, and though it burns, it leaves behind only gold. In the global field, revelations will continue to surface about power, about truth, about life beyond Earth. Yes, even the mysteries long labeled conspiracy or myth are now entering public conversation. The Age of Aquarius brings curiosity, not shame. It opens the mind to possibilities once denied. Topics like extraterrestrial life, hidden technologies, and ancient knowledge are no longer fiction. The more we awaken, the more we realize how much has been concealed and how much we're now ready to remember. But Aquarius doesn't reveal just to entertain. It reveals to liberate, to free humanity from false stories so it can write its own. A story rooted in awareness, not illusion. This age is also calling us to reconnect with the Earth, not as owners but as guardians. The Aquarian soul recognizes that Earth is not a rock to be used, but a being to be honored. The oceans, forests, and skies are not separate from us. They are extensions of our own energy. Sustainability, clean energy, and ecosystem regeneration aren't trends. They are survival. They are love in action. Technologies will evolve, yes, but the true advancement will come when innovation is guided by compassion, not profit, when progress includes the well-being of all living beings. Aquarius asks us to remember our ancient roots while shaping a new future, to build cities that breathe with the planet, not compete against it. But the most revolutionary truth of all is this: you are a co-creator. You are not a passive observer in this shift. You are a participant. Your thoughts, your frequency, your intentions are shaping the collective field more than ever. This is why healing your wounds, raising your vibration, and living in alignment are not selfish. They are sacred service. In this new age, we no longer wait for the world to change. We become the change. We embody it, radiate it, and through that, awaken others. You don't need to convince anyone. Just be the light. Aquarius spreads not through force, but through resonance, through energy. And every time you choose authenticity, kindness, courage, and truth, you amplify that energy for all of humanity. As the Aquarian wave deepens, it washes away not only outdated systems, but the need for labels, identities, and fixed roles. In the past, people found safety in being defined by nationality, religion, gender, or belief. But Aquarius brings something more radical: the end of separation. It whispers a truth, older than language. You are not your name, your past, your status, or your story. You are energy, a soul, a spark of the divine playing temporarily in human form. In this age, the illusions of us versus them lose their power. Aquarius doesn't care if you're left or right, religious or atheist, spiritual or scientific. It simply asks, are you awake? Are you living from love or fear? Are you evolving or resisting? This is the time when true spirituality rises, not from temples or rituals, but from authentic experience. People are beginning to feel that divinity doesn't dwell in a distant sky, it lives in the quiet awareness behind their eyes. Aquarius returns the sacred to the simple. A walk in nature becomes a prayer. A deep breath becomes a holy act. Kindness to a stranger becomes a cosmic ripple. The sacred is no longer confined to tradition. It's in every present moment lived in truth. Meditation, breathwork, energy healing, and intuitive practices aren't trends. They are the technologies of the soul returning to help you navigate a world where old maps no longer work. And as we awaken, creativity is reborn. Aquarius rules innovation. And in this age, art becomes more than beauty. It becomes prophecy. We'll witness an explosion of visionary music, healing sound, soul-inspired cinema, and global storytelling that dissolves borders. Artists, once seen as entertainers, become transmitters of the new frequency. Their work won't just be admired, it will be felt. The fusion of cultures, traditions, and technologies will birth something humanity has never seen before, a united artistic consciousness, expressing the dreams of an awakened world. And with it comes a new role for education. No longer memorization of outdated facts, but awakening of potential. Teaching will become mentoring. Learning will be lifelong. Knowledge will be shared like fire, freely, joyfully, and for the evolution of all. Yet, with all this evolution, there will be tension. Change always brings resistance. And not everyone will be ready to let go. Some will cling to comfort, control, or nostalgia. Others will try to spiritualize ego, using new language to mask old patterns. But Aquarius teaches discernment. In a world flooded with information, not everything that sounds spiritual is wise. Not everything that glows is gold. The real work is not to appear awakened, but to actually transform, to move from judgment to understanding, from conflict to compassion, from reaction to creation. This is the path not of the elite, but of the sincere. You don't need perfection. You need presence. The greatest challenge of this age is not external. It is the inner journey. The path that asks you to face your fears, unlearn your programming, and take full responsibility for your energy. Many will begin the path. Few will walk it deeply, but those who do will become beacons, not through preaching, but by being. They will radiate peace, clarity, and courage, and they will help build the world, not through force, but through frequency. That is the essence of Aquarius. Transformation without violence, truth without arrogance, change without chaos. It is a revolution of resonance, and you, whether you know it or not, are already a part of it. If your spirit has stirred with recognition through this message, type "I am ready" in the comments. Subscribe for more spiritual teachings, and share this with someone who feels the shift, but hasn't found the words for it yet. The age of Aquarius is not arriving. It is already here, and your awakening is the signal. The future is no longer some distant idea. It's now shaped by your next breath, your next choice, your next realization. The age of Aquarius is not about predicting what will happen. It is about becoming what is needed. This moment invites you to step beyond old fears, old identities, and old timelines. You are no longer waiting for permission to evolve. That permission lives inside you. As more people wake up, this collective energy will ripple across the world, not with violence or division, but with resonance, with remembrance. Aquarius shows us that we don't need more revolutionaries. We need rememberers, souls who remember who they are and what they came to bring. The veil between what is and what can be is thin. Walk through it. This shift is not without challenge. There will be chaos as the old dissolves. There will be grief, uncertainty, even anger. But do not mistake this discomfort for darkness. It is labor pain, the birth of a new earth. And like all births, it is messy, raw, and sacred. You are not here by accident. You chose to incarnate in this time, not just to witness the shift, but to be the shift. Your energy, your healing, your clarity, it matters. Every wound you face, every truth you speak, every boundary you create, and every loving act you share adds light to the collective grid. You are not small. You are not insignificant. You are a piece of a divine puzzle only now being revealed. And while the earth awakens, so must the body. Your vessel is the temple through which this energy flows. Care for it. Nourish it. Listen to it. Let your movement become a sacred ritual. Let your food become conscious fuel. The more your body aligns with light, the more clearly you will hear the guidance of this age. Practices like yoga, tai chi, breathwork, and stillness are no longer luxuries. They are lifelines. Aquarius does not demand perfection. It asks for integration. Your soul is asking you to bridge your knowledge and your choices, to turn your wisdom into daily rhythm, to let your spirituality touch your calendar, your conversations, your decisions. This is also a time of deep questioning. You will be called to re-examine everything: how you live, how you consume, how you work, and how you love. The answers may not come quickly. They may not come comfortably. But they will come if you listen. Aquarius calls for a sacred rebellion, not against others but against your own unconsciousness. Against the temptation to fall back asleep. It is not your job to convince anyone. It is your task to embody what you've learned. Be the evidence that inner peace exists, that awakened living is real, that a soul in harmony with itself can uplift everyone it meets. This is your role now, not a preacher but a living vibration of truth. And finally, the Age of Aquarius is not an ending. It is a return to something ancient, something sacred, something you've always known deep within. It is the return to soul, to simplicity, to unity. It is the rising of the inner sun, the dissolving of separation, the final remembering that the divine does not live outside of you. It is the breath, the heartbeat, the light inside your eyes. This is not a prophecy. It is a personal invitation. Will you answer it? Will you rise with the tide? Will you become what the earth is asking for? The future is already here, and its name is you.